Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Spencer. This is my second video, my second tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet the star beanie. I'm going to be showing you how to do it in this regular hat and then also in a cat beanie like this picture here. I have the free written pattern on my Ribbler as well, which will be linked in the description. This hat only took me about 4 hours. It's pretty beginner, nothing too difficult, just simple color changes, which I go over in this video, and you can also watch other YouTube videos on it if it's not clear. But yeah, so we'll just get straight into it. So your materials needed for this pattern, you're gonna need two different kinds of acrylic medium weight yarn. You're gonna need one for the base color of the hat and then a color for the brim and the star, and then you're going to need a 5mm hook and then some kind of scissors and some darning needles for when you need to weave in the ends. So your first step for this beanie is going to be to make a slip knot. This is just how I do mine. And you are going to chain 69. After you have finished your chain 69, we are going to skip 2. So 1, 2, and then half double crochet to this third one. I like to put my stitches into this little back bump so it just looks a little cleaner on the first row, but you can feel free to just do it the normal way. A half double crochet is just pulling your yarn through all 3 loops on your hook, and then this entire row is just going to be half double crochets all the way down. It might be a little difficult at first to get into the bumps, but I think it looks better in the end. And then I will meet you back at the end of your first row. So now I just finished the first row. All I'm gonna do is chain 1, which is what you're gonna do after every row. And this is gonna be our second row, and we are going to start color changing in this row. So you might want to follow along with the grid pattern that's on the written pattern, but I'll also just show you how to color change this first row and the next row, just because I know some people might not know. This row that we just did, this was our right side, like our right side. There's right side and wrong sides when you're following like the graph pattern, just depending on how you read it. So we're going to switch over. This is now our wrong side, and so we're going to do 17 half double crochets with the black color, and then I will show you how to switch over to your secondary color to start on the star. So just keep going, and then I'll meet you back here at this 17th half double crochet. So I just finished my 17th half double crochet, and even though we like just finished this stitch, I am going to take it out because this is how I do my color changes, just so it's easier and doesn't take as much time. So basically you're going to start your half double crochet, so yarn over, insert your hook, and then pull through. And then instead of finishing with the black yarn on pulling through these 3, you're going to take your secondary color and then leave like a good amount of a tail so it doesn't come off, and then you're going to put it onto your hook and then use that color to pull through those 3 loops. So once you've changed over to the blue, we're only going to do 1 half double crochet with the blue. So I'm going to crochet over both of these ends. So yarn over, insert, and have both of those ends there, and then pull through. And then since we're only doing the 1 stitch in blue, we're not going to pull through with the blue. I'm going to take this black again and then finish off the stitch with the black. So then I'm going to pull through, and then you have the 1 blue stitch. And then I'm just gonna leave the like connecting blue yarn here. I'm not gonna like carry it through here, because when we come back on the next row, it's just gonna be 1 stitch in the same spot. But I am gonna continue to crochet over this end. So then you're just going to continue all the way through this row with 49 half double crochets in black. And also, if you don't want to crochet over this end, you can just leave it to weave it in at the end if you want it to be a little more hidden. I don't really mind, so I'm just going to keep it there. And then I'll meet you back at the end of this row. I also just wanted to note that because this is the wrong side, that essentially means that this is the back of the piece. So whenever you have yarn sticking out, you want it to face the wrong side. So for example, if I were color changing on the right side, I would put my yarn to the back. But since this is the wrong side, like I left it here, I'm going to pull it to the front, because when I use this yarn up here on this next stitch, you don't want to be able to see this on the front of the beanie. So it's okay if this looks a little messy from the back. Like that's why you can see the blue yarn from back here, but on the front you can't. So just if you're gonna leave any yarn tails out anywhere, just make sure it's when you're on the wrong side, or you just put it to the wrong side. We are at the end of the second row. I'm just going to do this last half double crochet into the first chain 2 we did, and then remember to chain 1. This row is going to be a right side row. You are going to just do basically the same thing, 49 black down, 1 blue, 17 black, but I'm still going to meet you after the 49th black stitch, just so I can show you how to color change for a right side row. I just did my 48th half double crochet, so I'm going to show you how to do the color change. So again, we are going to start doing this last one. So pull through, you have the 3 loops on your hook. Since this is the right side, you're going to be putting the yarn to the back side, and then you're going to pull up this blue and use that to pull through with these 3, and then going to do the blue one and then put that to the back, switch back to black, and then pull through, like tighten your stitches if you need to, and then just continue down the row with your black. Just finished row 3, and now we are going to chain 1 and turn so that we are now on row 4. We are going to do 16 black and then 3 blue. So you're going to start your color change here and then do blue, 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 switch back to black, and then black all the way down. I'll come back once we're here just so I can show you again. So here I am at my 15th black stitch, so I'm going to start my last 16th one. So I have the 3 loops. I'm going to bring this tail to the back here, pull up with the blue one, okay, and then I'm going to crochet over the black a little bit. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, and 3, but the third one I'm not going to finish all the way. I'm going to bring this back to the back side, or front facing me, and then I'm going to finish it with the black, and then just continue down this row crocheting with the black color. We just finished our 4th row, so we're just going to chain 1 and turn, and then our 5th row is basically, or it is just the same as what we just did. You're just going to be going back, so you're going to do 48 black, 3 blue, and then 16 black. But just remember, when you come to color change these blue ones right here, you're just going to be bringing the string to the back, because this is your right side now, so you just need to make sure you keep this back here. And then I will meet you at the end of row 5. Okay, we just finished our row 5, so we are going to chain 1 and turn to be on row 6. We're now on the wrong side or back side. So for this row, we are going to start by half double crocheting 11 until we do our next color change. 11. So we just did our first half of our 11th stitch. So now I'm going to do my color change. So I'm going to bring this to the back, and then I know it seems a little far away, but you just have to pull a lot out, and then finish your 11th stitch right here with the blue. You can tighten it up if you want to, and then we're going to crochet 13 blue half double crochets. So I'm going to crochet over both the black and blue strings, so it'll look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this is our 13th. I'm not going to finish this. I'm going to bring the blue to the back and then finish it with the black yarn. Okay, pull through all 3, and then you're just going to crochet 43 black down to the end of the row. And this is how it's looking right now. And yep, I'll see you at the end of this row. Just finished row 6, and then of course we are just going to chain 1 and turn. The next row, row 7, is almost the same. You're going to do 44 black, so all the way down to here, and then after you get here you're going to do 11 blue and then 12 black. So it's just going to be one less blue on each end. So change here and then change here, and then we're done with row 7, and I'll meet you back at the end of this row. Okay, so this is what we're looking like after finishing row 7. So again, at the end we're just going to chain 1. I already did. And then for row 8, we're just going to go back down. We're going to do 13 black, and then you're going to do one less blue. Again, you're going to do 9 blue and then black all the way down, and then I will meet you back at the end of row 8. Just finished row 8, and I just have to do my chain 1 again, and row 9 is going to be the same pattern we've been doing. So you're just going to do black all the way down. You're going to do 7 blue this time, so again, one less on each side, and then black down. I will meet you back at the end of this row. Okay, we just finished row 9. We're going to do our chain 1, and then for row 10 it's going to be a little different this time. We're just going to add on 2 blue again, so you're going to do 13 black, 9 blue, and then 45 black, so black all the way down. It's just going to be 2 more the added stitches of blue on each side because we're going down and making the other legs right now. So I'll meet you back at the end of row 10. Just finished my row 10, and I just need to chain 1, and then for row 11 I will show you once we get down to the star, but for now you can do 45 black, so you can stop. We're going to stop about here, and then we're going to do 4 blue, 1 black, 4 blue, and then 13 black, because you're going to start making the 2 separate legs. So I'll show you that when we get to it, but it's just going to be 4, 1 black, 4 blue. So I just did I'm in the progress of my 45th black stitch, so I'm just going to, as we have been, do my color change. So I'm just gonna finish this stitch off with my blue, and then I'm going to do 4 blue, 3, 4, and then color change back to black. I'm going to do 1 black and then switch back over to blue. And then I'm going to do 4 more black. And then I'm going to switch back over to black. And then I'm going to finish this row with black. So this is how the star should be looking. We're just going to continue down here with the black, and then I will meet you back here when we start the next row. So we just finished row 11. I already did my chain 1, and we're going to do our 12th row. I'm going to do 12 black. So you're going to come over here, and then you're going to do 3 blue, and then 5 black, 3 blue, and then 44 black all the way down. So I'll do this color changing part with you guys again. So I'll meet you there after my 12 black. I just finished my 12 black. So I'm going to switch to my blue. I'm going to finish this stitch with blue, and then I'm going to do 3 blue, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to switch back to black, and then I'm going to do 5 black, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then switch back to blue. I'm just carrying over the yarn too. I'm not really crocheting over it because this is just the inside of the beanie anyways. No one's gonna see it. I don't really care. Finish off this stitch, and then I'm going to do 3 blue. Switch back to black. And then finish the rest of the row in black all the way down. We just finished row 12. We are on to row 13 now. We are almost done with the color changing pattern part. So this one's almost going to be the same. You're just going to do 44 black all the way down, and then you are going to do 1 less blue. So you're going to do 2 blue, and then 7 black, and then 2 blue, and then 12 black. So I'll go over this part with you, but it's just going to be 1 less blue here, and these two are just going to be black, and then we'll move on to the next row, but I'll still show you how to do this one. 44 black. Now we're going to move on to the start of the color changing. So I'm going to finish the 44th stitch with blue, pull through, and then I'm going to do 2 blue, 1, 2, finish this stitch with black, and do 7 black, 7, then we're going to finish this stitch with blue, pull through, we're going to do 2 blue, 1, 2, switch back to black, and then finish off the row with black. So here's how the star is going to be looking. We only have 1 more row with the color changing, so I will see you at the end of this row or the beginning of the 14th row. Okay, so I just finished my 13th row. I did my chain 1. This last row is pretty easy. I will still show you when we get to the color changing part though, but we're just going to do 12 black, and then 1 blue, 9 black, 1 blue, and then black all the way down. So you're just going to have 1 last blue stitch on these corners and black in between. but I will still just show you how to do that. So I just did my 12 black. I'm going to put this back here, switch over to blue for one last time, do 1, switch back to black, and then I'm going to do 9 black stitches. So 1, 9, and then switch back to blue, and then I'm just going to do 1 blue, switch back to black, and then that's how your star's going to look from the back. I'm going to cut a pretty long tail. I'm going to weave this in later. I'm not going to crochet over it just because I want it to be secure. So after I finish this row, I'll show you how I'm going to weave this in. So I'm just going to do black all the way down, and then we will be done with our 14th row. We finally finished row 14. I just chained 1 over here. I'm just going to quickly show you how to weave in this end so that it's nice and secure. This is just how I weave in all my ends. So I have a couple different darning needles here. I just like to use this little small one just because it's easier to like navigate. And I'm just gonna put it in here. And then all you're gonna do is just go through like the blue parts like a couple times. Usually 3 is good. Like I'll show you. So I'll go this way, then I'll go back that way with the blue. Can go back where we were. So that should be good. If you want to do it anymore, that's fine. But yeah, that'll be nice and secure so it won't unravel if you want to put this in the washing machine or anything. So I'm just going to cut that tail off, and then we can start our row 15, which is just going to be 1 full row of black, and then our last couple rows are going to be with the blue for like the brim. So I'm just going to do my black row right now, and then I will come back. We just finished row 15, which is our just plain all black half double crochet row. I still have 1 more stitch to do, but that's because I am going to do a color change back to blue. You're just going to start your half double crochet like we had been, and then pull through. And then once you have these 3 loops on your hook, you're going to get your blue yarn and leave a pretty long tail so we can weave that in, and then finish off that row. And then you have those 2. You're just going to chain 1 with the blue, and then our last 4 rows are just going to be half double crochet in the back loop only. So if you don't know what the back loop only is, let me show you. And also you can weave in these ends like I showed you earlier, like just going back and forth a few times into the color. So you're just going to half double crochet into this back loop right here. So you're going to yarn over and insert into the back loop, and then pull through, yarn over, insert into the back loop, pull over, and then each time you switch the rows, it's just going to give a little bit of like a ribbed look if you keep putting it into the back loop only. So in this next row, after you turn it, you're going to be crocheting into the back loop. But yeah, just remember 4 rows of half double crochet back loop only, and then at the end of the 4 rows I will show you what it's going to look like and how we're going to close the beanie to finish it. I just finished my 4 rows of half double crochet back loop only. This is how it's going to look. It has a little bit of like the ribbing texture. So how we're going to finish it is we're just going to chain 1, and then I'm going to cut this tail, and I'm just going to leave it long enough so that I'm able to sew it in later, pull it through. All these tails, I already showed you guys how to weave them in. So I'm going to do that really quick, and then I'll come back and show you how to close the beanie in both the ways to give you a cat beanie and a regular beanie. After weaving in all my ends, this is how it is looking. This is how the front side is, the back side. So first I'm going to just quickly show you how to sew it if you want it to be a cat shape or like cat hat beanie. I'm not going to like completely show you because I'm going to finish this one off in like a regular beanie shape, but it's pretty easy. You're just going to fold it so that your wrong side is facing out. So this is where you're going to be doing the stitches. And then I already have a slip knot on my hook. You're just going to need that. And then you're just going to insert it down here in this corner. And then you're just going to slip stitch all the way up, all the way across. Chain one, cut your yarn. Make sure it's long enough so that you're able to weave it in and that it's nice and solid so your beanie doesn't unravel. And then pull the yarn through, weave your end, and then you can just flip it right side out. And that's all you need to do the cat shape. I'm now going to show you how to do the regular shape beanie, and it's pretty similar. So for the regular beanie, just going to keep it folded how it is. You're again going to just have a slip knot on your hook, and then you're going to insert it into this corner, and then like you would do for the cat beanie, you are just going to start slip stitching up the side. So make sure your tension isn't too tight so you're not like making the beanie a weird shape. And there's no like exact amount of slip stitches I do. I just kind of do it in the stitches I can see and try to make sure there are no holes or anything. Once I get to the top of this side, I will show you what to do once we get to this corner. We're going to do this side. So just keep slip stitching up here, and I'll do this with you. Okay, now I'm just doing my last slip stitch here. To finish it off right here, you're going to cut a super long tail. So it needs to be about 2 or 3 times the length of the beanie. So mine is like 4, but that's okay. It's more than enough. So once you have all this length here, you're just going to pull the yarn through and then tighten it. And then you're going to get your darning needle, and then I'll show you now how we're going to finish off the top of this beanie. And then once your yarn is through your needle, you are just going to flip it around a little bit so it's easier for you to insert your hook. This is a little difficult because it is black yarn, but you are basically just going to insert it into a stitch that way, and then insert it into the next stitch the other way. You're gonna go back and forth like this all the way around the beanie. So go up through one stitch, down and out to the other. Make sure you're pulling the string. It's because you have all of this right here. So I'm just gonna pull it some. Make sure you're not pulling it too tight because we're gonna tighten it at the end so that it comes together. I'll keep doing this, and then I'll see you at the end of this little pattern. After I just did my last insertion, this is going to be the satisfying part, and you are just going to pull this string. So it's just going to tighten up the beanie. So just keep pulling. And then you can just take your string again and then pull it closed, and then there's going to be a little bit of a hole or some spots that need to be sewn together. So it can be messy on this side because again, this is the side that you're not going to see. So just go through all the areas that aren't completely closed. Make sure it is closed. This is how it's going to look once you sew that hole together. You don't see any space there. And then for this, to weave it in, I'm just going to cut it a little bit shorter so that it's easier for me to manage. I'm going to insert my hook and then pull that through, or my needle. And then I'm just going to insert it into the loop I made right there, just so I can make a knot. make that knot. If you want to do it a couple more times, you can, just to make sure this is all secure. And then do one more knot, and then I'm gonna cut this. It doesn't have to be super short. I'm gonna weave in this end right now. We can do our reveal at the end. I just finished sewing in my last end. This is how we're looking from the inside, but now we're gonna flip it right side out. I'll try it on for you right now and show you how it's looking. And here is how the beanie turns out. It's a little stiff up here, but if you just throw it in the washing machine or wear it a couple times, it will be fine. And I really appreciate you guys for coming back to my channel or coming to my channel and watching my video. If you want, as I said in the beginning, I do have the free written pattern for this on my Ribbler, where I also have a couple other patterns. And I also have my Instagram and TikTok linked in the description if you want to look at my social medias and support me there. Yeah, you can also commission me on Instagram if you'd like to. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.